Overwatch is finally getting the support it needs. After months of what felt like near-complete radio silence, we are being hit with news on the daily. Buff this, nerf that, get a new map, add another hero, and suddenly, this community does not feel so left alone anymore. When they initially unveiled Paris to be the next map for Overwatch, I was honestly very concerned. I saw a lot of potential in that map as a piece of content to build around, but Blizzard did nothing along those lines. Here, have a new map, get some behind the scenes, and let's pretend that adding another 2CP map counts as a satisfactory amount of content that we can spoon feed you just so you stop complaining. But not much later. Now, in fact, here we are. The first wave of PTR changes arrived together with another support hero. And there was a lot to be happy about. Some of these changes would help a lot of characters directly and indirectly in many different ways, however, they are not fixing what seems to be the biggest problem: GOATs. And what happened then? The very next day we are hearing of even more changes coming to the structure upon which GOATs was built. Zenyatta's and Lucio's contribution to this composition is being nerfed next to other changes looking to combat this very stale meta. Now we are singing a completely different tune, aren't we? Streamers are being invited to the Blizzard HQ to stream and interview developers while new content is being dropped. And all of that goes hand in hand with the Overwatch League stirring up the hype pot to make sure we always feel like something is going on. And I'm gonna be honest, while I was happy to see the retention that the Overwatch League has gotten, including very respectable viewership, I found myself very bored very quickly. Considering that we know most of these teams from the first season, some of them just didn't seem like themselves. I know that coaches and analysts and other on-screen personalities try to sell us this meme that GOATS has a lot of intricacies and takes a lot more coordination than we give it credit for. And I'm not here to dismiss any of these things because who am I to say that they are wrong when they're being paid to analyze all these things? But from a viewer perspective, I just didn't enjoy to see what happened on screen, and I lost a lot of the connections I had to the teams from the first season. It just seemed disgustingly homogenized to me. But hey, some people said the same thing about the league when Dive was meta, so who knows anymore, right? Knowing that the developers try to synchronize patch cycles to the stages in the league, we can confidently say that a shakeup in stage 2 is going to happen once the new hero is being introduced, alongside all these changes. And I want to encourage you not to dismiss the importance of that event, even if you don't enjoy watching the league yourself. Because here's the thing, whether you like it or not, a lot of players are influenced by meta trends in the league. And even if we don't mimic their exact compositions, if they are playing a wide range of characters very regularly, you can bet your bucket that a lot of players are gonna do the same thing in the game. It seems like a massive machine that is working right now. The developers feed new content into it and the community starts to listen. Add some hero changes and suddenly we are talking about the game. We're talking about it much more actively than we did in the last few months combined. But the changes also affect the gameplay we see on screen when watching the Overwatch League, and the league itself then creates a desire to want to play for many viewers who want to learn from their favorite pro players. For me and many of my friends, it had the opposite effect so far. Seeing GOATs as a meta reinforced in the league made us not want to play the game. We did not like what we saw on screen, thus we didn't want to play. But in that same vein, the only reason I wanted to learn Genji during OWL Season 1 was because of Libero in the New York Excelsior. I wanted to learn Tracer because of Sabiobi. I wanted to refine my Zenyatta play because of Jay Jonak. Naturally, I do realize that I might be a bit of an edge case considering that I'd call myself a fan of the league. But even if you want to be cynical and attribute a part of the viewership the league is getting to the incentives Blizzard is offering for watching it, that's still a lot of people watching it at the end of the day. And obviously, that only accounts for Twitch, while the league is running on many other different channels. Right now, we are in a bit of an awkward in-between phase. Yes, these changes are exciting and thus get us talking about the game, but they are only on the PTR. The machine is working right now, but it takes time for the benefits to go into effect. Especially considering how addicting Apex Legends is, I don't see myself spending that spare time in Overwatch instead right now. But the plan has not changed. Blizzard is looking to shake up stage 2 of the Overwatch League, and at the same time, we can expect to see a massive change in our community and in the game itself. Because again, whether you like it or not, but these things go hand in hand. Now here's the crazy thing. Speculation is fun and all, as I have done in my video talking about the new map. But I honestly feel like this was their plan all along. The league would kickstart the changes we want to see in the game because OWL is the big moneymaker. What we are seeing right now is not anything new. We did go for months at a time without hearing anything from the developers. We'd complain, bitch and moan, say the game is dead, and then the big twist comes around. What happens then? Everyone is praising the developers to the heavens and beyond, exclaiming that they are listening to the community. Now here's my portion of cynicism, because I'm sure you already expected it. What stopped them from rolling these changes out before? Why didn't they do these very simple tweaks a couple months ago? Why wait till now? Honestly, from a player perspective, there was no good reason. There was no reason why they would let us suffer in this current state of the game. You can attribute incompetence to it if you want to. You can blame Activision if you want to. But I think that the simple reality comes down to the machine that we talked about this entire time. The league was not there to amplify the effects of these changes in all the ways that they wanted to. Sure, the hardcore competitive players would have loved to see these things sooner, but that is only a small minority of players. And you know that they want the bulk of us. So the new map has prepared the ground for them to get our attention. The new hero got us to listen. And the changes are now here to get us excited. And all these things, again, are amplified thanks to the effects of the Overwatch League. I'm not convinced that Apex Legends ended up scaring Blizzard into some kind of knee-jerk reaction to get their players back. At the end of the day, I believe that the timing of all these things happening was part of their plan all along. And honestly, if you look at how these corporations are operating, then that only makes sense. For all of you who enjoy our podcast, I want to assure you that I'm working on getting the crew together to talk about all these things in more detail. For now, I just thought it was interesting to talk about how these changes affect our community in conjunction with all the bits and pieces that make this Overwatch machine. I'm honestly very happy that things are moving right now and that gives us more fodder to talk about the game, but I would still advise against giving out too much praise considering the state the game was in for the past months. But hey, if nothing else, at least we got something to look forward to. Onward to Overwatch League Stage 2 and the competitive season 15.